Hello, I'm HQ of HQ Reacts. If you find yourself here and you're not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me, like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So, you can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Hello, I'm HQ of HQ Reacts. If you find yourself... Hello. This is HQ today. Today we are following up with our breaking news. So you guys should be up to date and know that we are in the middle of dealing with Israel who attacked, or Israel that shot up or bombed Iran, right? Wow. I wanted to come on here and explain away or explain to people what the nuclear deal was about, the Iranian nuclear deal, and why Israel decided that they were going to bomb Iran first. Now, Iranian, for people who don't know what the Iranian deal is, it is a deal between 5 nations. In 2015, Obama and 5 other nations, United Kingdom, France, China, Russia, and Germany, negotiated a deal with Iran so that they would be able to lift the sanctions, off of Iran. Now, this happened in 2015 under Obama. He successfully negotiated. It was a Iran nuclear deal known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. It was an international agreement aimed at limiting Iran's nuclear program to peaceful purposes, right? In exchange for relief of economic sanctions. Now, Iran had been living under economic sanctions for a while, 4 decades, okay? 4 decades. And that was the reason why. I guess Iran may have come to the United States, may have wanted to come to the table. We don't know. But we do know that Iran had come to its conclusion almost. Okay. Come to the conclusion that it needed to have some kind of relief. Okay. And so it was a terrible country, right? It was a whole bunch of things that culminated in Iran had Iran had sanctions over 3 decades, way before 2015, way before Obama came into the picture. But it was 4 main reasons why Iran had sanctions placed upon them. Okay, they had it was one was because they had participated in the 1979 embassy hostage crisis. It was inappropriate for them to do that. President Carter froze about $12 billion worth of trade with them, and then They were off. They were off the radar for that. They were supporting terrorism. Okay, so we designated Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism in 1984 for backing Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, Hamas, and Iraqi Shiite militias. That's why we gave them sanctions there. That was number two. We did arms embargo. We prohibited travel, financial controls of officials, linked activities. They had ballistic and conventional arms proliferation. Intelligence showed that Iran was buying North Korean missiles and seeking nuclear capacity for delivering systems. This was the third reason why we put sanctions on Iran. Okay. Missile technology control regime. Number 4 was suspicions of clandestine nuclear weapons programs. That was the fourth and most horrific one, right? Early findings in 2000, they revealed there were undeclared enrichment sites that Iran was procreating, okay? 2016 to 2013, the UN Security Council decided that they were going to get travel bans, arms embargo, sanctions, cut the dollar in half, cut the dollar, oil market swift, all kinds of sanctions that we had placed on Iran. It was 4 main reasons why we put sanctions on Iran. Okay. In addition to them, there was human rights abuses. We had visa bans on them, asset freezes on them. They were doing cyber, cyber attacks and stuff like that. Triggered all kinds of sanctions against Iran. Money laundering, illicit finance, the whole nine. Iran is just a corrupt country with corrupt leaders. They call themselves religious country, or one of those countries that where women got to wear their burqas and all of that stuff. They call themselves religious country, but they're one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. So they had a bunch of sanctions against them from the United States, from other countries. So Iran said, "Oh, y'all keep blah 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 blah, right? Y'all keep putting sanctions on me, and I ain't trying to hear it, right?" So sooner or later, United States was able to get to them. Okay, they were able to get to them, and then make them bow down. Obama and his administration got to Iran and made them bow down, because they weren't going to do that. Okay. So the way they had to get them to bow down, I forgot how it was. Why did they have to bow down to United States? Because we made them bow down to us for some reason. I forgot what it was, but for some reason they bowed down to us, and we got them to agree to these sanctions in 2015. This was how we framed the Iranian nuclear deal, right? So that deal was brokered by Obama. Okay. It limited Iran's nuclear program. Okay. It was five countries that got involved with it: United States, United Kingdom, France, China, Russia, and Germany. And European Union acted as the facilitator, acted as the go-to, the liaison. what the Iranian nuclear deal included, which is why they're about to go to war, or they are going to war. The reason what it involved was this: Iran agreed to reduce its stockpile of enriched uranium by 98%. They said they were going to cut down the number of its centrifuges. Those are machines used to enrich uranium, by about 2/3. They said they were going to do these 5 things: reduce their stockpile of enriched uranium, cut down on the number of centrifuges. Those are machines that make that enrich uranium. Limit their uranium enrichment to 3.6%, far below the weapons grade needed to make a bomb. Allow international inspections by the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, okay, and not build new heavy water reactors or pursue plutonium-based weapons. They agreed to those 5 things in the Iranian nuclear deal. They agreed to that. Iran agreed to that. In exchange, what we would do, what other countries and we would do, we would lift the nuclear-related economic sanctions on Iran. Billions of dollars of Iran's frozen assets were released. Okay. We agreed to do those 2 things. Okay. In order for them to stop making an atomic bomb. Okay. That was the whole point, to get them to stop doing that. Okay. So they apparently decided that they were going to not do any more weapons, nor nuclear weapons, or make more nuclear weapons. So we were good. Okay. We were good because we had the agreement, between Iran and us in 2015 with Obama. Okay. So here comes 2018, 3 years later. Trump comes along and withdraws us from the Iranian nuclear deal. Trump withdraws us from that nuclear agreement. Okay. Why did he end the Iranian nuclear deal? Okay. The main reason he thought was there were fatal flaws in the agreement. Okay. They argued there was delayed. It was only delayed. Key limits on enrichment and centrifuge numbers expire in 2020 and 2030. They argued this merely delayed rather than blocked a bomb. Okay. The committee, the 5-country committee, never covered Iranian's missile program. Trump called missile delivery systems for a future warhead. Inspections and access. Military sites were not subject to snap inspections in Iran. Critics said Iran could hide their nuclear work on military sites. And regional behavior. Iran was still funding Hezbollah, Syria, Iraq, militias, those kind of activities. And Trump argued sanction relief was only fueling terror. So Trump decided that he was going to withdraw us from the Iranian nuclear deal. Now, the Iranian nuclear deal had five tenets to it: reduce the stockpile of uranium, cut down on the machines to make the uranium, limit uranium enrichment to a small amount, allow international inspections, and not build any new water reactors that could pursue plutonium-based weapons, that could make plutonium-based weapons. Obama brokered the agreement in 2015. Trump withdrew us from the Iranian nuclear deal, which meant Iran was a loose cannon and they could do what they want because Trump withdrew from that deal that they brokered. They had Iran in a chokehold. Obama and them had Iran in a chokehold, so they had to agree to what the Obama administration came and told them they had to agree to. They had to agree to it. Okay. But they had sanctions on them already, and it was record high unemployment. It was record high inflation, 40% over there. People starving. They couldn't get medicine. Iran came to the table because Obama said, we will lift these sanctions off of you. We will let you be able to get your money. We will let you be able to do these things if you agree to these 5 things. These 5 things. And you agree not to make nuclear weapons. Okay? That is what you agreed to. Trump came along in 2018 and wiped all of that clear. Wiped it all, just said, no, we ain't gonna do that. We just gonna let you do whatever you want to do, Iran. So when he lifted the conditions that Obama had put in place in 2015, in 2018, Iran was back to being a loose cannon. Okay. They were back to being a loose cannon. Okay. And this is where we are today. Almost 8 years later. Okay. 8 years later, we're back at the same position, except there is no nothing holding Iran back. Okay. There's nothing holding them back. Okay. Now, how Trump's withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal that Obama brokered in 2015 has impacted today. Okay. When Trump withdrew us from that 2018 agreement, that 2015, okay, he undermined the international front of the five countries. He undermined all of the work that these 5 countries did. Trump also lifted the sanctions. So we didn't get anything for lifting the sanctions. We didn't get any promises. We didn't get anything. The Obama brokered that deal to make sure that they wouldn't be, in order for us to lift the sanctions, you got to do these 5 things. Trump came in and wiped them 5 things away and then lifted the sanctions on Iran anyway, which meant Iran got their money, got their uranium, got all of the things they wanted for free without giving anything back, without giving any kind of sanctions, without having to have inspections. Okay. But he thought he could be able to Trump thought he could be able to reimpose those sanctions on Iran's oil, banking, and mission sectors, but he couldn't. Okay. But he couldn't. Iran said, to hell with it. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing. Y'all can just go on back over there to the United States and leave me alone. Okay. This is where we're at right now. This is what fractured the United States allies, us and our allies. We had brokered that Iranian deal so the world would be safer than to deal with a rogue country like Iran. Okay. We wanted diplomacy. It weakened our total overall strategy in the region, and it reduced any options that we may have had to help coordinate a de-escalation of this. Okay. And this is where we are right now. Okay. Trump's withdrawal didn't directly trigger today's war, but it undermined the diplomatic restraint, uh, and it emboldened Iran, and it opened space for Iran to do as it wanted to do without censure, and it left Israel vulnerable to a war. Okay. Now, if you know that there's a big gigantic cat in the corner, and I corner that cat, I got that cat in a cage. Obama had that cat in a cage. Trump came over and opened up the cage and let that motherfucker run free. That's what happened. Now we don't have any restraints on Iran. Iran said, "Oh hell no, I ain't talking to none of y'all. I'm good." So what happened today is Israel somehow, through the intelligence that the United States gave them, because they couldn't have found out about uranium being made in Iran unless United States told them. United States intelligence told Israel that Iran, or they found out somehow, some way, that Iran had uranium and was making a bomb. So Israeli said, "Oh no, we can't let y'all roll. We can't let you roll like that." So this is where we are today. Israel struck first. Okay. They figured, since Iran always is sponsoring terrorism, Iran is sponsoring Hezbollah, Hamas, all them bad terrorist groups. Iran is normally behind them. And the reason why Israel attacked Iran first is because they worried about whether they could be blackmailed by Iran, or they could blackmail Jerusalem, get political concessions, or fuel Hezbollah in another fight to eliminate Israel. That could fuel even more instability in the region. I mean, a successful Iranian nuclear program could push the Saudi Arabian people, Egypt, Turkey. Those are all bad regimes, into trying to get the same thing, or trying to get nuclear weapons just like them. And so it would turn the Middle East into a valley of bombs, where they nuke everybody. Everybody would nuke everybody, and it'd just be over. Okay. So Israel decided, I can't let y'all keep and since the United States gave Israel intelligence that said they got some bombs over there, bro, or they finna be done with. No, they ain't got the bombs over there, but they will have bombs over there within within a year. They may have a bomb over there. 6 months. And Israel said, we ain't allowing them to get even that close. Okay. And here's the kick in the pants, the kick in the pants. United States, because we such good friends with Israel, they such our buddy that we fund a lot of their activity, and we fund a lot of their war, their conflicts. We do have something to do with this war, because it's now in the news right now. I don't know what we're doing, but we helping Israel right now. I don't know whether it's with equipment or weapons, or I don't know. We helping them right now. Okay. Okay. So we prefer diplomacy, but somebody in this Trump administration gave them security information about Iran and let them know that Iran had some nuclear plutonium, was developing a nuclear weapon, and it would be done or up and running within 6 months. United States gave them that information. So they did help them to a certain extent. So I say we are not at war. We are somewhat at war because we're funding this war. We would be funding. Trump, to his credit, Trump told Netanyahu, don't go over there start no mess, man. Don't go over, don't start no mess. Okay? And what did he do? He went over there and he started some mess. He went over there and he started a war. Okay, it's up to us not to get drawn into the war, but as far as I can see, we're going to get drawn into it because there are troops over there helping Israel right now. So when people say, no, they're not over there, they're not helping, yes, they are. They're driving them to where they got to go, giving them rides to where they got to go. They're doing something to help Israel. Okay. And this is where we are in the middle of maybe World War II. See, it would have to be World War II. Other countries would have to join forces with Iran. And then we would be pulled into joining forces with Israel. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay. Okay. We ain't there. There's some people out there There's people out there helping. There's troops out there helping Israel right now. So we are in this war. We're just not full-fledged participants, but we are guilty of this. Guilty of being involved in this war. Okay. Who knows where it's going to end? But the Iranian nuclear deal, you can look it up. Obama administration brokered that deal. And Trump came in and tore that deal up. That's why Iran felt the bold enough to go make nuclear weapons. And that's exactly what they did. When Obama came and gave them the sanctions, or Obama came and said, you got to do these 5 things for me, and then we will give you your money. We will give you, be able so you can get food. Like I said, Iran wasn't, people were starving. They didn't have no water, couldn't pay their bills, had electricity on for 10 hours of the day, and that's it. Okay. They don't have to be, you don't have to be a part of NATO in order to be considered an ally. Okay. Ukraine is not in NATO either. Okay. I'm not sure who was all in NATO. I'm just saying you don't have to be in NATO for us to get dragged, because we fund Israel. We pay for their things. We pay them money. We give them equipment, weapons, the same thing that we were doing with Ukraine. Okay. But they're such an ally, we have to fund their whatever their flibber shit is. I don't see why we gotta help, but they're considered our friends. So you pulled us into this shit. So now we got to deal with it. Okay. Now we got to deal with it. So my thing is this: since we got to deal with it, why do we have to get pulled into the war? Why is it that we just can't let Israel do their thing and leave them alone? Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody wants to get pulled into a war. Okay. This was avoidable. I hate when shit is avoidable and then we end up somewhere else. Okay. We end up somewhere. We had the agreement in 2015. We tried to broker the deal again. You have to justify sending active duty troops into war. That's correct. Just because they're allies doesn't justify sending out. That's correct. Why would we get pulled into this war? There's troops over there right now. There's troops over there right now. Okay. They over there now. We got troops over there now. To his credit, Trump did tell Netanyahu, please don't do nothing. Please don't strike at Iran. Don't do it. Don't do it. Netanyahu, the war criminal, the war criminal that he is, POS that he is, went over there and started a war. Those troops aren't at. I didn't say that. What I said was, you're giving me water, you're giving me equipment, you're giving me rides, you're giving me. That's what we're doing over there. As far as I'm concerned, you're in the war too. You just have nobody's just declared you a part of the war. Okay. Don't split hairs about the shit. Okay. It's not a direct result. This is not a direct result of what Trump did, but he got his hand in it. He's about 50-60% guilty of having a hand in this war or getting this war started. Okay. Too bad for that president. No wars under the president. Well, this is a direct result of what he did not do, of what he withdrew from them. That's all Iran has wanted to do is make uranium, make a bomb, because it's a hateful nation. It's a nation full of hate, and they hate U.S. They hate Americans. They hate the freedom. They hate the feminists. They hate anything to do with modern civilization. And so that's all they were planning to do was make this bomb, make a bomb, and drop the bomb on whoever they was going to drop the bomb on. Okay. And Israel said, we ain't letting you get no bomb. We finna break y'all off before. We finna break y'all off first. But by them doing that, you pull us into a war. You pull the United States into a war too. Because we are your friend. Who should be allowed to make nuclear weapons? Nobody should be allowed to make nuclear weapons. What do you mean who should be allowed to? Nobody should, but people got them. Okay? People got them. But we do know a rogue dictator, a rogue nation, a rogue country like Iran. Yes. Yes. And that right there will be, here's the thing. Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia had no business invading Ukraine. But we had no way Ukraine, I think Ukraine came to us and said, we need help to stop them from taking us over. And the United States was giving them weapons, old weapons, decommissioned weapons. We were giving them those kind of things. The United States, we don't want to help nobody. We don't want y'all to give no foreign people no money. We don't want to help Ukraine. Now, you bitch made motherfuckers, you better speak up. When Trump start giving Israel money and Trump start giving Israel weapons, when Trump start giving them shit, you better freaking speak up. Okay? Because motherfuckers was having a fit when they were giving Ukraine, that little bitty country, Biden was giving that little bitty country ammunition to stop this big old country from invading them. And the U.S. U.S. people lost their goddamn. Why we giving them money? He's doing that already. He's doing what? What is he doing already? I don't understand. He cut off the money to Ukraine, but he ain't finna cut off the money to Israel. That's my point. My point is, y'all better have that same energy when he start giving money to Israel to help Israel fight. He decided he was gonna cut off the money to that little bitty country called Ukraine. Okay, so let's see if he decide he gonna cut off the money to Israel. Okay, because you're American, you don't want nobody to get no money, so we better not be giving no fucking money to Israel. Because Israel walked a monkey ass over there and punched Iran in the face. So let Iran and Iraq fight that shit out. We ain't helping y'all in no way, shape, or form. Don't give them no money. Don't give them nothing. That's what I said. That's why I said he giving them money. That's why. But most people don't know that that's what he's doing. I'm saying have that same goddamn energy. Same goddamn energy for when we was giving Ukraine money. Have the same goddamn energy for this Netanyahu with his criminal ass. Have the same energy for him and tell him to go fuck off and kick rocks. Just like you told Ukraine to go fuck off and kick rocks, you need to tell Israel to go fuck off and kick rocks. Okay. Yes, I know he's been giving Israel money. We're the one who funds their lifestyle, their life. Funding them instead of helping Palestinian people. Okay. Does anybody know the story of Palestine? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. People don't like to read these days. They don't know. So I'm saying this is what we got happening right now. The Iranian nuclear deal was brokered by Obama and Trump threw it out. Now we're reaping what we sowed. Okay. Now we're reaping what we sowed. Okay. And the whole point is Israel decided that they were going to go over there and start a fight, let their ass get beat up or let their ass win. But we shouldn't have nothing to do with it. I don't got nothing to do with it. You went over there and you punched somebody in the face, then you better know how to fight. Don't stand over there talking big shit, selling wolf tickets like the United States is supposed to be helping you. We ain't supposed to be helping you. Them wolf tickets is all yours. Okay. And that's the bad part. We got to have the same energy for Israel. We don't want to send no money over there to Israel. Don't cut Ukraine off, and Ukraine ain't starting no wars. Ukraine didn't start that shit over there. Russia started that shit over there. Iran didn't start no shit over there. Israelis started the shit over there. Make sure we make that perfectly clear. We don't want to fund none of y'all war. We ain't trying to get involved with none of y'all war. But the point is, we got people and men on the ground already helping them out. So I just got on here to explain the Iranian nuclear deal. We started at the beginning and listened to the conversation. 5 tenets to the Iranian agreement. Iran agreed to it. 2015, 3 years later, Trump came back and threw it out the window and never got another deal in line. So therefore, Iran felt they could make whatever bomb they wanted because Trump never came back to them and did anything. And he lifted the sanctions that they had on him, lifted the punishment up off Iran without getting any kind of agreement. He lifted the punishments up off Iran. So he fucked up there. And the fact that Iran has nuclear weapons or has the capacity to make nuclear weapons is a direct result of Trump canceling that deal. So this is where we are. So I just wanted to come on here. Please hit the like button, guys. Please hit the like button. I will definitely be doing these informative, some of these shows like this, that will inform you of what this is. This is the Iranian nuclear deal one. Next one I'm going to do is the Epstein files. I want to find out what's in the Epstein files, see if I can break those down, see what's in those. So I will be doing all of those things. But later on, I will be going live because I'll be doing, the content, the dating thing. But for today, this is a news day, and we needed to be right here when it happened. So I thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for showing up. Please hit the notification button, the like button, please, and thank you. If you're informed about the new Iranian nuclear deal, most people didn't know about it. Most people just knew we had one. But go to the beginning of the stream and you'll find out exactly what the nuclear deal was about, in which Obama had brokered in 2015, which directly led to what's happening now with Israel starting a war with Iran. So, and we would have to get 3, 4, 5 different nations involved in this war in this war for it to be a World War III. We would have to get more than 2 countries involved. So if that happens, like Iran likes to drag other countries into it for this fight, if they drag other people into it, we would have to. Israel would have to drag some people into it. Then it would be a world war, and I don't think that'd be real. I don't think that'd be nice. The ending would be nice. So please, you all hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification button, the share button. Amazing content for for the war. Hopefully we can do the Epstein files, probably Monday or Tuesday, the Epstein files. Find out what's going on with Epstein, the Epstein files, how Trump is related, whatever. We're going to look those things up. We're going to do that. So I thank y'all for showing up. I'll be live later on today. See you.